everyone, welcome back to the channel. Last time, we talked about calculating your body mass index. And for today's video, we're gonna talk about the different elements of art. As important as the art itself, elements of art are also a big factor in the process of art creation. They are the basic blocks of making art. If you know how to use these elements properly, I'm sure that you're on a path of making a beautiful piece yourself. If you don't know this yet, there are 7 elements of art. In this video, we're gonna be drifting from elements to elements in pursuit of defining these terminologies, as well as provide example for you to better understand the concept of art. Elements of arts. This includes the following: line, color, shape, form, value, space, and texture. First one is line. Line is a continuous path that connects 2 points. This element is considered by most people the most basic of all the elements of art. Line can describe edges in an art. It can indicate form as well as value. When a line is used for shading, we most typically see it used in a form of hatching and cross-hatching. It looks something like this. There are also a variety of ways to use line in a drawing. One is contour line. It shows where an object ends. It is the most common way of using line even for the general public. Contour line is also called the outline. Next is line quality. It is the thickness or thinness of a line. Line quality is used to show form in a drawing, like this one. By using line quality, you can show a 3D representation of an object. There is also a technique called cross-contouring. It is also a way of showing form in a drawing. There are different kinds of line, which you are probably familiar with: horizontal, vertical, diagonal, broken, zigzag, wavy, curved, and spiral. Next element is shape. A shape is created when a line is enclosed. It is an element of art that is two-dimensional. There are 2 categories of shape: the geometric shape and the regular shape. These shapes generally have a specific name. Examples are circle, triangle, and square. There's also what we call organic or free-form shapes. These are the shapes that follows no rule. Also, they don't have a name associated with them. By combining geometric and organic shapes, we can draw anything. Even complicated one becomes easier to draw. Form. In terms of art, form refers to objects that are 3-dimensional. In other words, form is also a shape. The difference is that shape is 2-dimensional and form is 3-dimensional. Form also has categories just like shape: geometric form and organic form. Geometric form also has specific names. For example, sphere, cone, and cube. Organic form don't have specific names and is associated with naturally occurring forms. Next is value. Value deals with the lightness or darkness of a color. We see objects because of how dark or light they are. There are factors that affects value, so we must be aware of that. Highlight. It is the area where light hits the object directly. Midtone is the middle value of the local color. Core shadow is the area that is shaded on the object. Cast shadow is the area that is shaded on the surrounding objects. Lastly is the reflected highlight. It is the area on the object that is lighter. Space. In terms of art, it is the area around, above, and within an object. Art without space will usually look flat or floating. Creating space in an artwork is very easy. There are few and many ways to create space in an art: overlapping, size, detail, color, and value. Overlapping. It gives the illusion of an object behind another object. Size. The smaller the object becomes, the more further it will look like. Detail. Same as size, the less the detail is, the further it will look like. Color and value deals with the darkness and lightness of the subject. The darker it is, the further it will look like. Next is color. Color is the element of art that refers to the reflected light. This is where the color wheel comes in. The color wheel was developed by Isaac Newton. The concept of the color wheel is a blending of colors to make another one. There are three types of color in the color wheel: the primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary colors consist of yellow, blue, and red. It is the main color that creates another color by means of blending. Secondary colors are color that came from mixing two primary colors. It consists of violet by mixing blue and red, orange by mixing red and yellow, and green by mixing yellow and blue. Tertiary colors are colors that came from mixing a primary color and a secondary color. This includes blue-violet, red-violet, red-orange, yellow-orange, yellow-green, and blue-green. There is also warm and cool colors. Anything from yellow going to red-violet is considered as warm color. Anything from yellow-green going to violet is considered as cool color. This usually defines the atmosphere of an art. Lastly is texture. Texture refers to the way an object feels to the touch or looks as if it may feel if it were touched. There are different types of texture in an art: rough texture, smooth texture, matte, and impasto. Rough texture reflects light unevenly. Smooth texture is the opposite of rough texture because it reflects light evenly. Matte refers to a surface that reflects a soft and dull light. Shiny surfaces are the opposite of matte. Impasto is an art texture technique in which the paint is built up on the surface to create a texture. Now we know the different elements of arts. Don't forget that with great passion comes great masterpiece. That's all. I hope you learned something today. If you like this kind of video, please leave a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video.